Hope you're all still awake. Late Night Mega here. And I am still in retrospect, so pretend that's the sound of a door opening and the sound of the hover shoes. Which you don't really know what the sound of the hover shoes make if you've never played this game before, or watched it played, or, yeah, because that's the item we got here. So if you're wondering why I'm doing post-commentary with just the sound of the Shadow Temple in the background, check out the previous part, which I'm kind of assuming you have if you've watched this video. But we're going to see the Stalfos do some crazy physics-defying acrobatics. He gets to do some things that we don't get to do, like walk up that steep hill like it's nothing. I was trying to push him off again, because that was kind of funny when it happened last time, but I couldn't quite replicate it. So yeah, then we're going to come over to this half of the room and slide around a little bit. And I'm going to look in the distance and see that that requires a key, which I don't have, so I have to go the other way, which means I have to collect the silver crystals, or coins. Crystals? Rupees? Crystals. Those can be crystals. And so we gotta collect those first to open the gate. I get hit by the moving spike trap on the floor, which I always think that I'm in the right spot between them, and then I'm not, and then I get hit multiple times. That's not something that just happened to me in this run. It happens to me almost every time I play this game, and it's only those right there. I don't know why that is, but those always give me such trouble. Now we get to this interesting room. This is another puzzle room. What you have to do is find a stone block and use it kind of to shield you from those spike crusher things coming from the ceiling. What are those even called? I don't know. I'll call them spike chandeliers. Not the kind of chandeliers you want to hang up over your dinner table. Well, maybe you do, but you'd be creepy. We found arrows. That's not a key, so that's not useful to us. So yeah, again with the little treasures that don't really help you progress in the dungeon. So I'm just kind of goofing around because I'm convinced that the block I need to find is hidden on this half of the room. So I'm looking all over for it and not finding it. I am, however, dodging the floor moving spike thingy multiple times, and it kind of looks like I should have gotten hit by it earlier, but I didn't. And so now I'm going to regrettably have to travel back there. So yeah, it looks like I should have got hit there too, and I didn't. I'm just that skilled. Yet I can't remember where the block is. So if you go over and check the sign, which we're going to check out real quick. Yep, come on, there you go. It says a stone umbrella, find the stone umbrella. Well, it calls those chandeliers rain of blades, but you know, whatever. It also calls this thing a stone umbrella. I don't know if it can be considered an umbrella because we're not really holding it over us. Just kind of pushing it along. But anyways, it sounds nice and cryptic on the thing. So I do love the design of this room. But yeah, the brick was hidden right within the wall. You just couldn't see it because the not because you had to go into another room, but just because the graphic for the wall overlaid the brick by like 1 pixel or something like that. So you're going to want to be careful crossing this. Once you get about halfway and you get to where you can stop both the chandeliers, you're going to want to move to the other side and pull the block from there. Otherwise, the first chandelier will come crashing down on top of you if you just try to push it all the way. As you can see, it would be crashing down on us since it's going all the way down. So we'll jump over here, activate this switch, which gives us a treasure chest. And we'll go and pick up this treasure And it's a blue rupee. That's exactly what we needed right now. Well, if you look at the positives from this whole no audio thing, I mean, you don't have the sound effects and the stuff. You didn't hear me get hit there. You can pretend you did, but it would just be pretend. But you also don't have to listen to Navi. That's a thing. So yeah, instead of pulling out the hover boots, the item that we get in this dungeon, which would have helped us cross that, I just go for the hook shot. Even though I actually really like the hover boots, there's an area in the game later on where they're going to become quite useful too. And so, boom, explosion sound effects. That's what that is. I actually avoided the spike things on the floor this time. And that is one giant razor blade. Not something you want to shave your face with, Link, there. So we go across on these invisible platforms for the sake of safety. I keep the Lens of Truth on through most of this while still trying to conserve some magic. And with that, you can pretend you hear the sound of the door opening, and yes, this is the room looks safer than what it really is. You put on the lens, you see all these spikes around and freak out. So I want to do the safe thing and take out those mummies or gibdos or whatever they are with the arrows, but that wasn't going to deal damage to them. So I just went over and started stabbing them from behind. And pretend that's the sound of collecting the silver crystal. And meanwhile, this one has gotten up and wandered around, so naturally I'm really paranoid of it, and because you don't want to get grabbed by those things and have them drain you. Also still trying to avoid the spikes, so playing a little bit of a ring around the rosy of invisible spikes there. That sounds morbid, but so is that poem. So we grab another one, we open a treasure, we get a treasure for killing them. It's a blue rupee. And so we also have invisible hookshot points in this room as well. Kind of a nice touch. And I'm contemplating on how to get that one, but realizing we have to use the hover boots. And so that's how you get that one. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. And the door opens. See, who needs the real sound effects when you have me? Okay, we'll put our regular boots on and just go through the door. And that's a locked door, so now we have to deal with this. Another kind of strange room. But there's bats in here, and I try and take them out with the hookshot, which isn't going to work, but then the bow and arrow, I get my sharpshooting skills out and take care of those bats. I thought there was another one, but it was just that other bat that I had shot into the ceiling. And I wanted to use sharpshooting skills and snipe the gold Skulltula from around the corner. Here I think it ended up hitting that big jar thing. Yeah, I don't know. You can't hear sound effects, so just pretend it did. That's what happened. And we have some more bats up there. And when you kill all the enemies, the gate opens up. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Okay, that was really late, but just work with it. That's what the Shadow Temple is all about, just working with what you have and blowing up a giant coffee mug. That's what they use that for. to get a key. Why anyone would put a key inside their coffee mug, I don't know. It seems excessively big to hold a key. And coffee. Well, pretend there's a door opening sound, and now we're in this section. This is where things get a little odd, and we're going to use our iron boots again because we have wind pushing us. I must say, as much as I don't like the thought of using the iron boots again after the water temple, that this was kind of a neat design, a neat use for the iron boots. I do like it. And then we get to this part where we have to use the hover boots to get across, but of course the fans... No, we don't. I can cheese it. I can use the hook shot there. You can also use the hover boots to get across there. And I try multiple times here to just get Link to fall down. You'd think it'd be easier to just fall down than to climb back up wearing those heavy boots. And so we go across this room. We have evil shooting fire at us. So we need to put an end to that. And go sharpshooting skills. It only takes 5 arrows to hit that, and then a 6th one for good measure, because I couldn't really see if I actually hit it after the flame. And then I'm trying to remember which path I'm supposed to take first. So I think it's the invisible that way. And so I go that way. And I was I right? I don't even remember if I was right. See, this is how mixed up I get in the Shadow Temple sometimes. And we have the evil mummies. They do their screamy thing. No, I'm not going to imitate that one. And when they do, the flying evil pot goes right through us. We don't even have to block it, but the second one hits us. And we get a treasure. Hooray for treasure. There's still another treasure in this room, as you can see by the compass. There's a blue rupee there. Now, this one threw me off for the longest time when I was a kid. What you have to do is you have to bomb that little pile. Here's the thing. I did not know that that pile was bombable. You don't have to bomb any of those in the bottom of the well in order to get the Lens of Truth in there. And so I never did that. I never knew you could do that. And so I got to this room and I was stuck. The Lens of Truth doesn't show you that you can bomb it. Navi doesn't tell you can bomb it. Navi doesn't turn green and fly around it, signifying that there's a hint with it. No, you're just supposed to somehow know that you can bomb that thing. So, yeah, that's what you can do, and that's what you have to do. And now that we're in this section, we can push this block and create a bit of a shortcut here for us. And of course we have to take the block all the way over by the ladder. So insert your pushing sounds there. And I put the hover boots on because I don't want to go that way yet. I keep thinking that I have to find the boss key before going that way, because that path takes us towards the end of the dungeon. And so I come over this way, to here. And I immediately realize this is not the area we get the boss key in. So what did I come all the way back here for? Well, let's find out. There's clearly a treasure in this room, so what is it? If it's not the boss key, I'm thinking it might be a small key, but I already got through the area where we would need the small key. So we use the Lens of Truth, find the treasure, and its arrows. Yep, that's what we needed. So I use Navi to look at this thing's hint. And it just gives you a hint to use the hover boots and let the wind push you across to the area here. And it looks like I'm about to get hit by the flame there, and I do. And we can head back over that way to the big, scary looking boat. The boat ride of doom. And we're going to get on the boat, but we're not going to set sail yet. Not that there's a sail on this demonic boat, but we're going to work with what we have. It moves by the power of music. So I'll see you next time.